Hello, hello. It's Tom from Tom and Ruth Filipino Adventures. How's everybody doing today? Hey, you want to buy a car? How do you buy a car here? What do, right? I've talked about this multiple times, and people have asked me recently, Tom, where do I get a car? I want to buy a car, but I'm finding out that I really don't know where to go. And where is the best place to buy cars? And where should I go to purchase a car in the Philippines that is reasonable? It's not going to charge me an arm and a leg. Well, first and foremost, you're buying a car here in the Philippines, good luck. What I mean by that is, in a not negative way, is you can buy a new car. You can buy a brand new car, a little Wego car. You can buy Suzuki cars, Suzuki vans, new. You can buy those new. They're being brought in. But they're going to range in price from, a little Wego is about the cheapest car you can get that I'm aware of right now. It's about $10,000, $12,000. And it's a fair price, $10,000, $12,000. And sometimes they have rebates and things like that. You might be able to save $1,000 or so. But then again, it's a small vehicle. You can't haul but 4 people in it. The thing that I wanted a van, and I went the route with a van. I'm glad I did. If I had to buy a vehicle again, I would go the Suzuki van route. You can haul anywhere 6, 9, 10 people. We had that thing full. I don't know how many people's been in it. But say you want to purchase a car, where do you get one? There are a lot of online places you can go, and I'm going to give you some ideas about that today. Car Monday is one of them. It's an online marketplace where you can find a wide range of cars, and it has used cars from different sellers. You put in the city you live, and it will pull it up. And like anything else, before you buy anything, bring a mechanic, or you have knowledge yourself. Bring someone who knows about transmissions, repair those transmissions, parts, and things like that. First thing you need to do before you buy a car in the Philippines, find out what brand you want. You want Toyota, you want Ford, you want Suzuki. What kind do you want? What's available out there? Buick's available here. There's a lot of cars. There's many Fords out there. You can actually purchase a van, a car, a truck, or anything, just like you can in the States. But you're going to pay a little bit more on the used ones. A new one's still going to cost you $20,000, $30,000. In fact, you can buy a new car in the United States cheaper than you can here. You can also buy a used car cheaper in the States than you can here. A used car in the Philippines will not cost you $2,000 or $3,000 or even $4,000. A used car can be up to $5,000. Well, that van of mine was used and I paid almost $6,000 for it. The reason why you want to make sure the car that I bought initially, it was a lemon. I had the transmission checked. I had the motor checked. Everything was fine. It was sort of like they put sawdust in the transmission, if you understand what I'm saying. Everything was fine until about 2 weeks after I got it. You can't take it back. There's nowhere to go. There's no lemon law here. So make sure you bring a mechanic, someone that knows everything about the car, and make sure you find parts. That's really what I'm getting to. Parts. You buy a Ford, make sure you get the parts. You buy a new Ford, you're not going to get all the parts. You buy a new Toyota, you're not going to get all the parts. A new Suzuki, Hyundai, anything that you buy, well, you get all the parts. Not always. Just because Ford is selling here does not mean they're going to have parts here. Just because you can go buy a motor and things of that nature, you may not be able to find the alternators, a front fender, a back fender, a new tailgate, a new bumper front and back. My brother-in-law had an accident in his Isuzu, and this is a used vehicle. It's about 10 years old, a little more than that. This was last year, and it was an accident, not necessarily his fault. He had to get parts for it. Well, guess what? You can't just go down the road and buy parts. They had to order them in from China, and it took them a couple of months to get the parts. Well, his truck was in limbo for a couple of months because you know he's not going to drive down the road with no hood and fenders and everything else, because that's what happened. So Carmundi is a good place. Auto Deal is another one. It's another online marketplace for cars where you can find a wide range of cars. Facebook Marketplace is another one that you can look at. And a Facebook Marketplace is probably really one of the better ones, but be careful. Facebook Marketplace has been known for the scams, and so is these other ones. Another great place to buy these, before I go any further, I wanted to talk about this. You can actually used new cars, it's only been used 6 or 8 months or a year, but you're still going to pay a price for it. Nothing's free, right? Just because the loan on that car is still $22,000, you're going to still pay $22,000. Unless they're so overrun with it, they're going to get rid of it. Most of the time you'll find that they'll keep it on hand until. They'll keep it on hand until. And I went to a online shop, found some cars that's been sitting there in the lot for 2 years. It's still sitting there. I don't know what their thoughts. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know if they're planning on shipping them out of the country. I have no idea. Everybody wants a brand new car. Raise your hand, and if Filipino wants a new car, they want new. They don't want used. They want new, of course. Well, they have to pay the price for that because they put down $300 or $400 or $500, and then they finance the rest, and then they keep it for 6 or 8 months or a year, and they're unable to make payments on a 6-year or 7-year loan. They on loans in some of those cars, they can go up to 10 years of making payments because of the interest and all the other charges and things they charge on there. I know guys got payments 10 years. I said, you bought a car, just not a house, where the house lasts you, all your life. You bought a car for 10 years. I said, in 5 years, 6 years on these roads and highways and bumps and rocks. I mean, I was walking down the street today and there's rocks sticking up. It had, where it broke off, it has a sharp edge on it. Whatever tire hits, that's going to pop it. I don't care if it's brand new or not. So I went and got another rock and banged it down and knocked that edge off. So somebody driving, they don't have a problem with that. You have to always be prepared for that. We would have, luckily in this van, we had 0 flats, but in the other car, we had probably 10 flats. One day I had 4 in one day. 4 flats in one day. So when buying a used car, it's important to do research and inspect the car thoroughly. Make sure you bring somebody with you. Have a professional mechanic look at it, because you never know what could be wrong with the car. And then you want to make sure you get it repaired. If you get a car repaired here, that's really where your thing you should do first before anything else. And I should have said that in the beginning of this video. You should find your mechanic first and then worry about the car later, because that's really the most important thing. Can you repair this? Can you do this? Well, even in Davao, my friend was telling me he had a problem in his car and he was looking for some parts. He finally found the parts, but he needs someone to put it all together for him. Well, he went to multiple shops, and not everybody can work on some of these cars. A lot of them don't have the computer to check all the emissions and all the stuff on the car. A lot of them don't have the mechanics or the lifts to lift the car up off the ground. A lot of them are shade tree mechanics. A lot of them don't have the right tools, especially the metrics and some of the things on these cars. They don't have the right things to work on it properly. As you know, and I went to school for mechanics, and as you know, they always were coming out with these new tools and new things they did on these cars to alleviate the shade tree mechanics. And so they take special tools to work on some of the parts and things like that, especially when we get into the motor. Now, the guy took the motor out of my car because it's lickety-split, because there was nothing too much wrong with it. And there's only a 3-cylinder motor. He had that motor out probably about 3 hours, everything tore apart and done. But then again, too, it was a small 3-cylinder. But a brand new Ford pickup truck that you need to take that big motor out, that big old 8-cylinder, you're going to need some help on that. So you need a professional mechanic. And that's what I would do first. I would find a professional mechanic first. Then I would find a car before I went any further in buying a car. Because if something goes wrong with the car, you want to be able to say, hey, can I bring my car here? Now remember, they have no tow trucks here in the Philippines. You'll have to figure out a way to be saved. They do have what they call rescue, and some municipalities have what they call rescue a vehicle. You call them and make an appointment, they'll come get your vehicle whenever that is, a day, 2, 3 days down the road. So it'd be on the side of the road. You want to get your car even if you have to push it back where you need to go. A lot of times what happens, there are guys that will pull it with their multi-cabs or pull you where you need to go, and you just pay them accordingly. And there's really some nice guys who will help you with that. They have chains. All you got to do is ask someone. A farmer, I remember a farmer helping my brother-in-law with his. So that's the thing. You need to have someone that has something that can pull it. Not only that, if it's a big, like that big 4x4 Isuzu, my little 3-cylinder van, no way it could even pull it. My 3-cylinder could barely carry the weight that it had in there. There's only 660 cc. So It was just a small car. So check the papers on the car also. Most important thing. Make sure all the papers are complete and the seller are that you are the legal owner and they are the legal owner of the van before they transfer it. You want to make sure of that because if they say they're the owner and they own the vehicle, you want to make sure they actually own the vehicle. Do you have the title? Well, no, if you don't have the title, don't buy it. Be prepared and also be prepared to haggle. So when you walk up to the guy and say, hey, this van is going for whatever, and hey, can you knock off 1,000? They won't knock off. If they knock off anything, it's going to be $50, $100. They're not really too much hagglers here. They don't haggle too much on price. I went and asked for a big discount on something I bought here for the house. I paid 50,000 peso, and the guy goes, he kind of laughed at me. He goes, I can give you 100 peso off, $2. I said, $2 on all the stuff that I'm buying from you? I said, no, I need more than that. I said, you can't give me like $100 off or something at least? No, sorry, sir, we don't have that. And either they got their price structure so close for the competition, or they just don't have it in the budget, or they just don't give discounts. But very rarely you get a discount. If you get a discount for $5, $10, you're doing good, man. And even on a big purchase. You buy a house from someone, they're not going to haggle on a house. You go buy a brand new car and pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for that car or truck, which many of my friends have. My friend said he went and bought that Toyota. They didn't haggle a bit. He said, no, this is the price. He said, well, I got to have a truck for the farm. There's a guy doing the cow business for feed and everything else. So that's what happened. So you can increase your choices if you take your time and just plan a budget accordingly. Plan your money because not everybody's going to, how can I say, be able to wheel and deal with you. But you need to make sure you have your finances set because not everybody's going to be able to say, okay, I'll do this. You got to make sure your budget is square. If you not have the money to do it, don't do it. If you want to finance it, don't do it. Don't finance anything. If you have to finance a car here in the Philippines, don't buy it. You're better off not to buy it. Don't finance if you possibly can. They will finance you, but it's really a lot of hassle. You don't want them attaching your Social Security. You don't want them saying, we need all your Social Security payments for last year. We need to see all other income, all other assets you have, all other land and property. You don't want all that stuff tied up and where they actually have access to that. Because you open it up a keg of worms. When you finance something, people say, oh, I've had my car financed here for years. But then when they go to sell it, they can't sell it because they're still a title owner, they still have it. Well, even though the guy's paying it off, what a hassle getting the title. My guy sold a new truck, and he tried to get the title from the company. Well, sorry, we got to get it in Manila. It took him like 6 months to get all that squared away. So if you're going to buy something, buy cash for it. Make sure they have a title on it. Make sure it's free and clear, and then get it. But there's no title search. There's nothing like that here to protect yourself. It's like a Wild West. You buy something, you better know what you're doing because you know what? If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get taken advantage of. And I did get taken advantage of on that car. My first car I bought here, I got taken advantage of. I spent $2,200 for that car. The guy, and I got maybe $400 back out of it because I sold to get it off the property. I said, just give me $400 for the car and get out of here, you know? So they did. So you can see the money I lost. I drove it for, I don't know, for about 3-4 months. It would work, not work, it would work, and it would not work, and it would work and not work. And I had multiple mechanics, and finally I took it to my mechanic now, the one I should have took it to in the beginning. If I ever buy a car, I go make sure he's good first. If he ever retires, I'm not buying a car. Never. Because your mechanic comes first, and then you go buy a car. Always, here in the Philippines. Oh, you want to get into insurance? Well, that is another long video. Insurance in the Philippines for cars, get the full coverage. Don't get the one they tell you to buy. Go do some research on it. Get the ones that not only protect you and protect the other one, protect the repair. They sell policies to protect repair, but 99% of the ones that sell those policies, they will not fix, the insurance companies will not fix your vehicle. They say they will. When it comes down to it, you'll have to pull that money out of your pocket. Been there, done that. So God bless everybody. I've went on this minute thing on now for 15 minutes or so. Thank you so much, and God bless. And I'll see you guys next time on Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Thank you.